Since this morning, I've been yawning. Situations got me falling down. What should I do? The day is full of questions. There's no answers or suggestions. So, who do I turn to? You can call on Jimmy B. You can say just what you mean. It's so nice. It's so nice. You can call on Jimmy B. You can talk about anything in this life. The fabric of life. You can call on Jimmy B. You can say just what you mean. It's so nice. It's so nice. You can call on Jimmy B. You can talk about anything in this life. The fabric of life. What's the latest on the caucus? Who's running for top office and why? Tell me why. Raising taxes on the masses. Who is doing it the fastest? Who lies? Tell me who lies. There's so much on my mind, it just makes me want to vent sometimes. It's so much going on. I just hope you hear this song and you do what's right. It's just not about black and white, no, but it's about the human rights. Yes, it is. It's just not about you and me. Can it be? But it's about who we can call. Let's call Jimmy B. Call on Jimmy B. You can say just what you mean. It's so nice. Yeah. It's so nice. Yeah. You can call on Jimmy B. You can talk about anything in this life. The fabric of life. You can call on Jimmy B.
All right. You can call on Jimmy B. Hey, y'all. Today. It's today. I'm just being silly today. All right, y'all. Welcome to the Fabric of Life. I am your host, Miss Jenny B. You have tuned into another episode of the Fabric of Life. I appreciate each and every one of you. Same time, same place. Join us here tonight. Call in. The call-in number is 248-854-9850. Again, 248-854-9850. So y'all could call in and ask my special guest, who is my husband tonight. Y'all can ask him whatever y'all want to ask him. I don't care what y'all ask him now. Whether he decide to answer it, that's up to him. But y'all can ask him whatever y'all want to ask him tonight. So I'm closing out my topic, which is coming into the new you. What things did you have to shift in 2020 before coming into 2021? So I'm going to start out with our opening quote for tonight. And the quote that I have for tonight, it says, if you don't like it, if you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change the way you think about it. So I'm going to say that again. If you don't like something, change it. And if you can't change it, change the way you think about it. So, babe, what are your thoughts on that quote tonight?
Wow, I like it, because I had to do that myself. It was things that I did not like in last year. So I had to look at it in a way of how this grow me up, right? And just instead of looking at how it may have affected me in a negative way. So I had to look, I said, well, you know what, man, I have better patience now. I said my prayer life is awesome now, much more organized now, because it left me with all this time to do this. So you're right. So I had to just change the way I seen it. So sometimes we always hear God will put something, he won't put more on you than you can handle, but actually just put stuff on you to grow you up in the areas which need it, and which that's what happened with me. So yeah, most definitely I changed the way I seen it.
Miles, you got a mic over there? What's your thoughts on the quote?
No,
You ain't got no mic over there.
Come on.
I'm not getting into
You're not getting this tonight. Why? Because my husband here.
I'm not getting into
You're silly. All right. So my thoughts on that is perception is a person's reality. And so how you perceive something, meaning how you see it, is how it's going to be in your life, in your mind, in your world, whatever your world consists of. And I always say intentionality and reality are two different things. A lot of times we intend to say something, we intend to do something, and sometimes we get so busy, because guilty of this as well. Get so busy, and you think you might have said something, and you didn't say something. You think you did something, you didn't do something, and so the pandemic has definitely showed us how to slow down, and assess things and take our time and appreciate the time. So it's the end part of that. If you can't change it, that part for me is that, okay, if you tried it, and it's still not working, change the way you think about it. So to me, it's saying don't give up. Don't give up on whatever it is you're called to do, whatever it is that your purpose. When you are operating in your purpose, everything else will fall into place because you're following the direction and the guidance, and being obedient to what God wants you to do for your life. So tonight we're talking about coming into the new you. What things did you have to shift in 2020 before coming into 2021? So, my love, share with our listening audience, what are some things, and I want a man's perspective, because y'all know I always like to get a man's perspective, because they don't think like we think. My therapist, yep, I got a therapist, y'all, keep telling me to get that book, Men Are From Venus and Women Are From Mars. So I think I'm going to have to get it, just to see what it's talking about. But I definitely agree that men and women think completely different. So what are your thoughts, baby?
Yeah, we do. Because I have a spirit of making things right, and I have a very forgiving heart. So with me, I'm always ready to move beyond whatever it is. So, I had to slow down last year because I didn't want to bring a lot of things into this year. So I had to slow down. And like I was saying a couple of minutes ago, even with any situation I had in my life, it was just God, I know, growing me up in areas just from my ministry to things I'm going to do for people. So at the end of the year, it finally clicked in.
Well, you said you had to slow down. So what areas did you have to slow down in? I mean, because that's vague.
With me listening, my wife tell me all the time, baby, slow down. And like I said, because I have a spirit of want to make things right, I'm always trying to move beyond. So when I'm doing that, I'm not slowing down. I'm just trying to get to the happy ending. So I had to slow down, listen to my wife, listen to my children, what my daughter was telling me, what my friends were telling me. And so I had to slow down and really hear the words that were being said.
Okay. So you said slowing down and listening. Were there any other things that you had to shift in 2020 before coming into 2021?
Back to remembering the things that God had told me and shown me. So I had to get back to that. I had to get back to that. I got away from a lot of things, and He showed me at the beginning of the year. So I had to go back, and I had this thing where I like to write things down, and I have to visualize them. So I had to go back to that method, right? So my wife would tell me all the time, baby, you already talked about that, but this is what I do. So I may review things from time to time over and over again. So I had to get back to me, because that's what made me flow. That's what made my energy good. Everybody has different ways that they comprehend things, they deal with things. So I would just suggest, like just for myself, just go back with what works for you. So I had to go back to the drawing board of Frederick. So I had to look at all these situations that were kind of changing me. So towards the end of the year, I just had the spirit of organizing. Then my prayer life. And I just put everything back in perspective. And it may have been like the week after the first of the year. I just started really, really feeling good. Started getting back into my health. And that was a big thing for me. So I just got back to me. I had to slow down, listen, and get back to Frederick.
Okay, y'all, if you're just tuning in to the Fabric of Life, I am your host, Miss Jenny Me. And tonight I have my husband as my special guest on tonight. Call in, ask him some questions, y'all. I know y'all want to ask him something. Call in number is 248-854-9850. I don't know what he gonna say, but he gonna say something.
Do you have anything you
That's
want
for
to
sure.
ask me?
Do I have something that I want to ask you?
You can ask me whatever.
Oh, do I have anything I want to ask you?
Yes.
Well, tonight we're talking about coming into the new you
Hmm.
and what things that you have to shift in 2020 before coming into 2021. Well, do you have something you want to ask me? Do you? No, don't look like
See, I love how you do that. Answer with a question.
Okay, yeah.
So I
You know
had
I've been
to,
doing that from day
and it
one.
was one other thing that I enjoy. I'm a very visual person. Most men are, but I'm very visual, very creative. So if I let my wife look through my phone, I take photos of things that I want, things I want to accomplish, and I take a photo of it. So throughout the day while I'm working, I'll flip and I'll look through my photos,
Okay.
and that's motivation for me. And my wife asks me all the time, so I said, what you thinking about? What's on your mind? I'll be like, nothing. And she'd be like, your mind is never blank. And I'm like, nothing.
Never.
So
Never, y'all.
So I had to get back to if God shared something with me, it was for me. And I just didn't want it to seem like it was conversation. So I'm back to when it's developed and it's time to hit the floor, that's when I'm coming out with it. And that part of me, but like I said, you get back to who you are, that's what drives me. So I had to get back to Fred. Had new life, new wife, new home. Everything was new. So I got so involved with the newness that when people say all the time, I never want to lose yourself. I never want to lose myself. It can happen very easily.
So do you feel like you lost yourself?
Oh yeah, part of me, yes I did.
Okay.
So I had to regain that.
Okay.
So the things that worked for me, I went back to, and then God added some other things, of course. But the things that worked for me, the things that I lost, no, I didn't lose them. I left them behind for a second. So I kind of placed them on a shelf. Right. So I had to go back to that shelf and dust them off and pull it back off. So yeah, I had to go back, and I will continue to say probably for the rest of the evening, I had to go back and pick those things up, right along with the things that God added.
So let me ask you this. You said you had to go back and pick those things up. Did you gradually transition to gaining those things or retooling those things, or did you just, do it all at once?
No, it was gradually. I started with organizing, organize my closet. I always like my shirts in there, the white, the blue, the green. So I had to go back to that. So it was gradually. And every time I did something, I felt a part of me returning. It's like anybody can imagine how impossible it is if you dropped a light bulb on the floor, how impossible it is to put that back together. But if you did, how successful you would feel. And that's how I start feeling when I start adding these things back.
That's how I felt when I blew that fuse in the house today, y'all.
You blew it through? Because you got like 100 million things
But
plugged up.
I fixed it. Okay, so tonight we're talking about coming into the new you. So one of the things that I had to do to shift within myself, and I've talked about a few of these things during this topic for this month already. But another one was just to be okay with not being okay.
Yes.
That the statement, oh, you a strong black woman. Like, I've heard that all my life. And there are times where I didn't feel strong. and times where I didn't even want to be strong. I know it's some men and some women out there that can identify with what I'm saying right now, because sometimes you just don't want to do it. And so I had to learn how to, it's okay to not be okay. But the thing is to don't stay there.
Yes.
Don't wallow in it. Don't stay in, as the Bible would say, low the bar. I don't know where that scripture is found, but I know it's in there. But it's important. That's why I say it's important to have people in your life who can encourage you and lift you up when you need that. I had to really assess and look at, I'm always encouraging and uplifting people, but who's doing that for me?
Yes.
And so I had to look and see and assess, where am I getting my water put back in, my oil put back in to my cup, so that I'm able to, share and pour out for others, whatever that is, whether it's being a wife, whether it's being a mother. And ladies, so often, because we're the givers of life, we're the givers, we're nurturers, we take on, and do. And sometimes, I didn't know I was tired until I sat down. And, the TV ended up watching me, or the computer ended up watching me. And so I had to learn how to listen to my body more in 2020. And that's it's still a work in process. I'm still, going through that transition. Again, tonight the topic is coming into the new you. If you want to join the discussion, y'all call in. Y'all can ask my husband anything y'all want to ask him, and I'm not gonna say nothing. 248-854-9850. Anything you want to ask him.
Anything. Okay.
Anything. Yeah. Ask him anything you want to ask him. Now, it's up to him if he want to answer it, but you can ask him anything he want to ask him. So let me ask you, babe, what's your new outlook? We're in the first quarter.
Right.
January is almost over. We're going to February. February is the shortest month of the year. So as you transition into the rest of the first quarter and into the next month, are you a person who does like daily goals, weekly goals, or do you do goals at all? Like, what do you find that helps you to streamline and organize your plans and your thoughts?
Okay, let me answer the first part. I have daily goals.
Okay.
And I really don't skip to the weekly. And it's kind of strange because you know how I am. I'll talk about purchasing a home. So I'll go from my daily to a long-term goal.
Okay.
So what I'm doing in between that time, I'm building and I'm receiving information and I'm doing research for my long-term goal, which can be short-term goal also. Okay. So I'm daily working towards that.
Okay.
I'm not the type of person to have short-term goals too much. I got my daily taking care of myself, my prayer, building towards that long-term goal.
Okay.
So the other thing I had to do is I had to get organized. Last year I was not very organized. So
I can't believe he's telling y'all this.
I wasn't very organized. I mean, even
he called
boss,
me the drill sergeant, y'all.
Yeah, she is.
I am not.
She'll get you together. But that's part of what I need in my
Miles
life
called me
also.
lieutenant. He called me a bully, so.
Yeah, you're a bully too.
I'm not.
Yes. Thank you, Miles.
I just like order. Miles, don't make that face.
Yes. Oh my God.
You're like, yeah, whatever.
So I had to get organized, and that was one of the things that I had to do to support my goals that I made for myself. Because I truly believe, and I agree with you. My mom used to always tell me, which is a very wise lady too. She said, "A cluttered house makes for a cluttered mind."
Mm-hmm. My grandma used to say that too.
Right. So my space, I had to organize. I had to organize my space, and I'm still working on it, even at work. So first part thing I had to do was I have some long-term goals, maybe, that I set for us. And it's like homes I took pictures of, vacation spots, a new boat, new car, just my chef business, Chef Wilson, being on the show talking about men's health, things that I always wanted to do. So I had to get organized. And it's really helping me. It's really because I was moving last year, and I don't know how I managed to get through the year.
The grace of God.
Yes, and you, drill sergeant Jennifer, but
What did I do?
you would get a brother together.
Well, what I do? You said in me, like what I.
Yes, you helped me stay focused too. You kept me on my toes. I had made a post earlier, and in the post I said you like a box of chocolate. Remember for Forrest Gump?
You never know what you're gonna get.
Yes.
Wow.
And that's a good
That's
thing.
called variety.
That's a good
Who
thing.
wants stale? Like I
No.
had some sour cream chips today, and Uncle Ray's, they're one of my favorite chips, and they were stale. I was mad, but the
One of the
expiration
ones
date
on
said
top of the
August.
refrigerator?
Yeah, I threw them away.
Yeah, you can't. It was too hot. That's why I tell you that all the time. So, right along with setting
Nobody
my
want
goals.
stale. Y'all don't want nobody stale.
No, nothing stale. I had to get organized. And part of your quote that from earlier, I had to change the way I seen things.
Okay. So speaking of quotes, we're going to transition to the final quote of the evening. We're getting ready to wrap it up.
Already?
Y'all didn't call in and ask him nothing. But the end quote for tonight says, "Life is a series of natural and spontaneous changes. Don't resist them. That only creates sorrow. Let reality be reality. Let things flow naturally forward in whatever way they like." I'm going to say that again. And this is by Lao Tzu. It says, "Life is a series of natural and spontaneous changes. Don't resist them. That only creates sorrow. Let reality be reality." I don't know why I can't say that word tonight. Let things flow naturally forward in whatever way they like. Thoughts, my king?
Part of what happened to me last year, I learned that even though I had maybe a thought or an opinion on things, I had to be okay with not sharing it and just letting that situation flow on out. Because I realized that it was not going to be my words that changed it, but it will be God all the way through. So I like that quote because now I'm truly, I just let it be. I let it be. Sometimes you can't fight it. That's when the sorrow comes in because you feel defeated, right? And I believe sometimes it wasn't even for you to voice your opinion on or try to fix it because God may have had it for the other person, something they were trying to show them, or even yourself. So I could sit back, like I said earlier, and I listen. I really listen now. Really listen. So I like that quote, and just sit back, let it flow. Sorrow will come from defeat when you try to fix it yourself.
Well, you heard it from the king himself. Sit back, relax, and let it flow. I am your host, Miss Jenny B. You have tuned into another episode of Fabric of Life. Next month is Black History Month, you all. And so I'm going to do a few little different things for Black History Month. I believe in celebrating our history, our culture, just people, period. But there are a lot of great things going on in our culture, and it's a shame they only gave us a month. But I say take all the year. Take whatever time you just celebrate you all year long. You don't need Black History Month just to celebrate the blackness in you. March is Women's Month. So during the month of March, I will be highlighting and showcasing several different women from an array of walks of life. And it's going to be great, you guys. So We're gonna end out this first quarter with a bang, and we're just gonna keep moving. And I appreciate each and every one of you. I thank you, Miles, the mediapreneur on the ones and twos, even though he didn't want to be in the discussion today because my husband is in the building. But it's okay.
That's okay.
But
Recognize the king.
make sure you guys tune in, same time, same place, first from 6 to 6:30 for Glory Glory with yours truly, Miss Jenny B, the #1 video gospel show in the world, and then right back at you again on the Fabric of Life from 7 to 7:30 with yours truly, Miss Jenny B. As the song says, you can call Jenny B, and we out.
This morning I've been yawning, situations got me falling down. What should I do? The day's full of questions, there's no answers or suggestions. So, who do I turn to? You can call on Jimmy B. You can say just what you mean. It's so nice. It's so nice. You can call on Jimmy B. You can talk about anything in this life. The fabric of life. You can call on Jimmy B. You can say just what you mean. It's so nice. It's so nice. You can call on Jimmy B. You can talk